Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel, and hello if you are new. My name is Andrea Johnson. I'm a spiritual teacher and energy work practitioner, and I help people step into the highest version of themselves by expanding their consciousness through these videos and energy work sessions. So with that being said, welcome to Conscious Coffee Talks, where we discuss a topic to expand our consciousness and improve our lives. So I got my coffee. Let's dive in. In today's video, I am actually pulling a section out of my Reiki Level 2 course called Psychic Reiki, breaking down how you receive information from source, meaning the right and left sides of your brain, how it works and how it translates the information. And from this, I'm going to show you guys how you can access higher realms of communication with your mind. And last but not least, I'm going to show you how to unblock yourself and fully trust the information that you receive. Be prepared for a conscious expanding episode. Let's go over how we receive information from source. And from this, I mean, what is the brain? So I want you to think of your brain as separate from your mind, because honestly, they are two different things. The brain is like the computer. It is the spiritual hardware, as what I like to call it. The brain's job is just to transmit information, right? That's what a computer does. It takes information and it places it on a screen, right? For you, the player of the game, which is the mind, you, the observer, actually get to see what this energy is, what the picture of the world is, the hologram of the world. So basically, what your brain is doing is taking energy, electromagnetic signals, and communicating with you in a way in which you can understand it, in which you can receive this information of what's in your external world, right? Because the world that we live in is the world of energy, and ultimately, energy is just information, and the physical 3D reality that we are in is just a hologram, guys. It's just a bunch of pictures that our brain is really piecing together with the information that it's receiving. So it does this through our five senses, guys. So our touch, taste, sight, smell, the emotions, those are all ways in which the brain is helping us to understand what is in our external world. And so you can also think of the brain as like the antenna, the receiver of information, okay? So if the brain is the antenna, the mind is the person tuning into the radio station. So you, the mind, the observer, can change the radio station and reach higher frequencies of energy or dimensions, whichever you want to call it, thus changing the radio station to receive higher vibrations, meaning what comes through is higher thoughts, higher emotions, more like love, right? So more spirit coming through. So I'm going to say this again. The brain is the hardware. The player of the computer is who you truly are. It is consciousness. It is the mind of God. Universe is just consciousness. It's mental. It's mind, right? That is the true thing that exists. This body and the brain are just the machine that allows you to have a human experience. Let's go over the right and the left side of the brain, because both are equally important when we receive information from source. The information or the energy that we receive from source is processed differently by each side of the brain. As we know, guys, in our universe, it is made up of a balance of energies, of masculine and feminine energies. And it is the same with our mind. The left side of the brain is associated with the masculine energy, and the right side of the brain is associated with the feminine. So you can think of the left side as more logical, and the more that we associate it with ourselves and the ego and analytical information in our 3D world. Naturally, men have more masculine energy, and therefore they have more of the masculine traits associated with the left side of the brain. So men tend to be more analytical. They tend to be more driven. They tend to be more egotistical, more logical, trying to honestly make sense of the information that you are receiving from your external world or from the spiritual realm, right? An example of what I like to give of a person who is highly left brain would be like an engineer. An engineer is somebody who thinks a certain way that is problem solving, is analytical. They see the world in a different way of like things make sense in mathematical equations. So that is somebody who is more left brain. Now, the right side of the brain is more the feminine energy. So the more psyche or psychic energy, right? It's more associated with the feelings, with the emotions. It's more fluid, okay? So you want to think of like the right side of the brain as more associated to like the moon, with psychic abilities and just being more fluid, and the left side of the brain more associated with the sun, like father spirit. Females are obviously operate more from our right side of the brain, which makes us more creative, which makes us more emotional, which we feel things. We tap into our intuition easier. So what happens when we receive information from source, or when the brain starts to translate this energy through our five senses, it comes in through our right side of the brain. We are taking it in through our five senses, and even our sixth sense, which is just all of our five senses elevated to a spiritual sense, meaning you are hyper focused if you were tapped into this. And what the left side of the brain does is it assigns logic to what this information is, to why we are feeling the way that we are feeling, to why we are receiving this information. We are basically assigning logic to better understand the information that we are receiving. You can think of like more of consciousness with the left side of the brain, and then the right side you can think of more of the subconscious, because it is communicating through the feeling center. So you can see how important it is for these two sides of the brain to come together equally, even though naturally we as humans kind of ebb and flow between each side of the brain. But to receive accurate information, you want a balance of the right and left side of the brain. And to do this, it takes practice, because naturally a lot of us operate one more than the other. And this also depends on what is going on in our external world. You know, if you're working at a computer, or, you know, you have a very tasking job that requires a lot of mental focus, you're going to be operating more in your left side of the brain, rather than if you're painting a picture or doing something more creative like writing, then you're going to kind of flow into your right side of the brain. Most of the time you have people who are super creative, or you have people like Elon Musk or Nikola Tesla or Albert Einstein, who were more mathematicians, creators, inventors, things of that nature, that operate more in the left side of the brain. All right, guys, so now that you have an idea of the right and left side of the brain and how information comes in, let's go over how to receive higher communication from source. So I kind of already touched on how the brain is the antenna and your mind is the player of the game, right? It can consciously choose to access higher realms of energy, right? So to be able to consciously choose, you have to become conscious yourself of what you are feeling, right? So if we operate more in one side of the brain, so say our left side of the brain, if we operate more in the analytical side, it is going to be vibrating so fast, because our conscious mind is going to be thinking. We're going to be over-analyzing. So when we are more identified with the physical 3D reality and over-analyzing everything and more into our external world, our consciousness is more focused on our external world rather than the internal, which is the right side of the brain, then we cannot hear the right side of the brain and we are out of balance. And to properly be able to communicate with spirit, you have to get both of the sides of the brain, the hemispheres of the brain, into balance, because when we become over analytical, we start overthinking, we get too much in our mind where we are so loud with our thoughts that we cannot hear the intuition inside, right? So we have to calm the mind down. We have to calm the monkey mind, okay? So to do this, meditation, breath work, those things are going to be what balances out both sides of the mind so it can properly receive information. So when the left side of the brain is operating higher than the right, you're not going to be able to hear it. You're not going to be able to hear your intuition speak to you, right? So you have to bring down your thoughts through meditation, through breath work, however it is that you choose, bringing your conscious awareness back to your body instead of in your external world. Let the mind or the thoughts tire out. And by doing this, you can bring your conscious awareness to your heart center, which we'll get into that. You can do breath work. So breath work is going to help balance the nadis. So the nadis are energetic pathways in which are connected to the left and right side of your brain. They're energy channels. So you can balance these through breath work, and it's called the alternating nasal or nostril test. I'm not going to do it in this video, but go Google it. It'll pop up for you, and you can do that breath work exercise to balance the right and left side of your brain to then help you receive accurate information from source, to help you tap into your intuition. Because like I said, guys, when we are all over the place in our left side, when we're out of balance, we cannot hear the subtle energy that is speaking to us through the right side of the brain. We truly do not understand how subtle the messages are from our right side of our brain. When we are over analytical, we question the information that we even receive. And yes, this information comes in thoughts as well too. We'll get into that as well. But we question the information that comes through with the feelings, with the thoughts, the visions, right? We think we're making it up. When we are over analytical, we're like looking for a big sign, right? We're thinking that we need, Jesus Christ to walk through the doorway and give us our life plan or tell us exactly what is wrong. Those are the signs that some people do look for, guys, and that's just not how it works. The signs are so subtle. The information coming through is so subtle. The symbolism in your external world is so subtle. It's supposed to be like that, guys. And you have to tap into your right side and quiet the left side of your brain to be able to feel into the information and receive the message behind it. Now, some of you are probably thinking, well, even if I get to this state and I think that I feel the messages coming through and can hear them, but I'm still questioning whether I think I'm right or not. This is when you have to actually drop your mind into your heart. And we call this the mind-heart coherence. Okay. So you have to bring your conscious awareness to your heart center, which I call the portal of God. This is literally the place where I have heard the voice of God come through. My heart literally spoke to me, guys. The mind-heart coherence is not something that I've made up. It is something that is real and is something that I had learned in my BQH course, and then I learned from it from Dr. Joe Dispenza, where you connect your conscious awareness to your heart center, and you can do this through breath work. You can just focus on your heart center. You connect with an intelligence that is beyond yourself. You connect to the realm of wherever the heart is connected to, source, spirit, the highest frequency, because love is coming through this chakra, right? When you connect to that, your conscious awareness, you're going to connect to the wisdom that sits there, the frequency of the heart. You're going to get that wisdom behind it, which is love, because when you feel an emotion, you get the wisdom behind that emotion as well too. What you think and feel are in correlation, okay? So when you drop your conscious awareness to your heart center and you tune into the heart and you bring your conscious awareness there, you remember who you are. And when the information hits you, it's a feeling followed by the messages. I don't know how else to explain it, guys, other than it's the knowing. It's the 100% unfuckable faith in the information that you get, that you know it's true. And you feel so much comfort and love behind this. And it doesn't even have to be an intense amount of love, but it's just the information you get, regardless if it's good or bad by your terms. You feel so safe receiving it. You feel taken care of. Even if it's not the information that you wanted to have or to receive, you're just like, oh, it's all going to work out. It's okay. This is supposed to be what's going on right now. And that is okay, because you know you're guided and you know you're connected to source always. You're not separate, which brings me to my next point: how to unblock yourself, because you were never blocked to begin with. So you understand you are never separate from source, because it all is source, guys. Everything in our universe is God. The only thing keeping us blocked is the idea that we are. So even the lower level frequencies, the light and the dark, you are everything, guys, because we are submerged in a sea of consciousness. That's all that exists, right? This body is a drop of water in a sea of consciousness, and your mind is the gatekeeper of the body that allows whatever energy in and out. And if you are not conscious of this, you will allow the subconscious to run. You will think that the feelings, the low-level frequencies, you will think you are stuck with them when you are not, when they are just energy stuck in the body. And then you get the victim mindset instead of the powerful mindset of, I choose to think and feel differently, because you can. That is the power of your consciousness. That is the power of your mind. You are never separate from source, because even those lower level frequencies, those lower level thoughts, right, that the brain is interpreting from the energy spinning in your body, right, because that is where thoughts are coming from. It's associated with an energy that you feel. So when you either think higher thoughts, which you can consciously choose to do so because you have that power, that is your God-given power to do so, then you can shift the energy in your body to that of a higher frequency, or you can choose to feel something different and get higher thoughts associated with that. You can shift the energy in your body, or you can shift it in your mind. Either way, you can level yourself up and pull yourself from the darkness, because it is only you who is going to save you, because you are God. You are the consciousness. There is no separation. So the human experience is just being a creator in the physical. You are the bridge, bridging forth spiritual energy that you are receiving from higher aspects of yourself that is being gifted to your conscious awareness through visions, because imagination is clairvoyance. So you never make anything up, right? The visions being gifted to you to manifest. You are the bridge to basically alchemize that energy into physical manifestations here. This is the point of the physical. Things just don't happen instantly like that, right? You are bringing form and creation to energy. You are the creator, and you get to choose what you want to do. That is your God-given ability. If you are not conscious, then the subconscious will be what chooses for you, meaning your programming that you will have to consciously change, right? Because every computer has a program, and if you do not change that program, what your subconscious beliefs are will be what creates your life. And you will think that you have free will when you truly do not, because you will just be following the program. It is very hard for us to believe we are this thing, because we are so close to it, guys. We are it. This is just life. And for some reason, we think that it is something special, when it is us that is special. Guys, this whole existence is special. There is nothing, it just all is, right? You were never separate from source to begin with, because you are source. It is only in your mind that you create this separation, and therefore it makes this true, because where your consciousness goes, what you put your attention to is what creates your reality, right? Because consciousness is energy, and we create our world with energy through the hologram, through law of attraction, the vibration that is you. So where you place your attention is what you will see in your life. And if you keep focusing on the fact that you are not connected to source, you will continue not to be, and you will feel that separation, and you will feel that fear and that victim mindset, right? So you have to place your conscious attention on things that you do want, on things that you want to feel, on the positive aspects of your life. You have to consciously choose it day in and day out to rewire the programming, because neuroplasticity pathways form in our mind, even on the ways that we feel, even if it is negative day in and day out. Then we identify as being a negative person. To change that, you have to consciously change it and choose something differently. And this is where I teach this in my psychic development course, because if you think you're not psychic, then you are not. It is the same thing with developing your psychic abilities, is understanding you already are psychic, right? It is just building the faith in yourself and the information that you receive. And when you tap into the highest frequency of information or of energy, meaning if you feel love, if you tap into your heart center and then you get information from that, and you relay it to the client or to like just your world, or use it for yourself, that is the reality you create. So it's neither right nor wrong. It's just your belief in it, and the energy behind that belief is what you create. So if there is something you want to deem negative in your life that has lower level frequencies, if you fully believe it, that's the reality you create. And this is how our world is designed. So you have to have 100% unfuckable faith that you are psychic, that you are connected to source always, right? You are the creator that gets to choose your reality. This is giving the power back to you. Hopefully, I expanded your consciousness today. Hopefully, I reminded you of your truth and your power today. And I hope you consciously choose your reality today. Think higher thoughts. Put your attention to what it is you want to create in your life, and you cannot help but create that, guys. And you know, if it's hard at first, because this requires a change in person of who you currently are. If you're not used to doing this, it is okay. It will get easier. Day in and day out, put forth the work to change your life. It starts with your mindset. Put forth the effort to change your reality, and I promise you, God will meet you halfway. He always does. Damn it, guys. I get so passionate about it because when I talk about it, I get back to that place too. We'll see ya. Sending you all of my light and all of my love.